Okay, quick announcements. We will be going over the final today. And our discussion will be kind of short because we are at the end of the marketing unit. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to text or chat below or stay after class. And that's it. Okay, I'm gonna screen share. Okay, so now we are on section 4, which is international marketing. So just an introduction for international marketing. The definition of it is selling products in markets other than the original domestic market. And globalization, the definition of that is the growing trend towards worldwide markets and products, capital, and labor. So globalization is unrestricted by national barriers. Yeah, and some methods of entry into international markets. So there are 5, and there's obviously more, but these are the main 5. First is exporting. Second, international franchising. So McDonald's, they're an international franchise. Third, joint ventures. Fourth, licensing. And lastly, direct investment in subsidiaries. And if you don't know what a subsidiary is, like an example is like Disney Channel, they're owned by Disney overall. So it's like a company controlled by an overarching company. There are opportunities and threats when entering into international markets. For opportunities, it first is to develop marketing operations and expanding markets when the domestic market is saturated, meaning like very easy to enter. And then number 2 is spreading risk between different markets at different stages of the economic cycle. And then for threats, high levels of competition from national producers. So let's say you are bringing your company into Mexico, there will be a high level of competition because people in Mexico are used to the companies that are based in Mexico. And number 2, differences exist in legal environments. Oops, sorry. Okay, now section 5, e-commerce. Yep. So there are features of e-commerce, and again, the underlined are like vocab terms. So the definition of an e-commerce is the buying and selling of goods and services on the internet or online. Global reach is internet technology reaches across national boundaries and opens up global markets. Ubiquity is the access to markets and consumer access to business is available at all times and virtually in all locations. An example of ubiquity is shopping can take place anywhere, obviously being online like e-commerce, and customer convenience is then increased. Like I said, I think last week, a lot of people are shopping online now because it's just a lot more convenient for them. They don't have to walk into a mall and buy all that stuff when they can just buy stuff online. And personalization is marketing messages can be now targeted at individual consumers based on their previous spending habits, tastes, and interests. And then the last three, interactivity, information richness, and universal standards. Those are important definitions, but I just didn't want to overload you. So if you do want to know these definitions, I highly recommend Investopedia. Okay, so there are, I believe, three types of e-commerce. So the first one is business to business, or better known as B2B. And B2B, the definition of that is transaction conducted directly between a supplying business and a purchasing business. So for example, Facebook could buy office furniture from IKEA. So that's a business to business transaction. Oops, hold on. Okay, the next one is business to consumer or B2C. So this business needs a method of displaying products and prices on its website and a mechanism for recording customer details and as well as a checkout to accept payment. The definition of B2C is transactions conducted directly between a company and consumers who are the end users of its products or services. So an example is like Target or Staples. Target is a business and we as consumers are buying Target's products. And then lastly, the type of e-commerce is consumer to consumer or C2C. And C2C is a business model based on e-commerce that creates a facility that allows consumers to trade with each other. So an example would be like eBay's auction. I could sell my uh, pen to Kemdi online on eBay. Okay, we'll just give you guys like a quick 1-minute break.
If you have any questions, feel free to drop them during this time and we can answer them right now as well.
Okay. Oops. So now we'll be going over the 7 Ps, which is your final. Okay, video. Oops, sorry. 1 second. Okay, so obviously that video is not as specific, but it gives you like an overarching theme of what we're going to be talking about. So before we begin the 7 Ps, the 4 Ps are product, place, people, product, place, price, and promotion. And then, so the first P is people. So these are employees, management, organization culture, and customer service orientation. So why people? The people employed by a business can either give it a competitive advantage or can lead to poor customer reaction and disloyal consumer. And getting good people. So well-trained and well-motivated, well-mannered employees who deal with customers in an efficient and speedy manner. And for example, this is kind of a little different, but like for example, um, Sephora kind of adds an artist. For example, who's an artist? Who's a makeup artist? Jeffree Star. So that is someone that Sephora kind of hires, and then Jeffree Star will promote maybe Sephora's products or maybe have a collaboration with Sephora. Process, so like uniformity of offering, service delivery, and service consumption. Why do we need process? So the speed and efficiency of any kind of service delivery or delivery of products are determined by the process that has been put in place. So it's very important that companies really deliver their products well, products or services well, just to make the customer or consumer feel a lot better. Okay. Physical evidence, so like facilities, infrastructure, service delivery, and employee appearance. So the definition of physical evidence is the ways in which the business and its products are presented to customers. So examples of physical evidence would be like the location or the appearance and state of decoration of retail shops. And some examples of physical evidence are intangible products versus tangible products. So intangible are non-physical products, most likely a service provided to a consumer. So an example of intangible product would be insurance policy. And tangible products is any physical object that can be touched. So example would be a car, laptop, buildings, or clothing. Um, when you go to a car dealer, for example, Range Rover, like they are a luxury car, so they want their car dealer to look really pristine and fine, so that the consumer kind of feels that um, way towards the company Range Rover. Okay, and then the 7Ps in a service-based market. So the combined 7Ps market mix now forms the overall strategy that a service-based business will most likely and will adopt to win and keep their customers. And each element of the mix must be integrated with all other elements to ensure a consistent image of the business and its services. So I don't know if you guys can see, but this is, oops, let me like lower it. This is the 7Ps in kind of like a diagram. You can see that they're all touching each other. So they are all interrelated in some way. Is this correct?
You have to reshare.
Okay, before we talk about the final, we of course want to do a little bit of discussion.
That's like our signature now.
1 second. Okay, so the first question is, how do you think globalization has affected business and technology?
So
Um,
for normal, before we reply, we want to get some people. Anyone?
I think it's more that technology is affecting globalization rather than the other way around, because it's kind of increased with more technology and stuff like that.
That's a very good point.
I agree.
All right. Alex, do you want to give your opinion?
no, you can go first.
Okay, so I think actually I'm gonna agree with I think it was Jocelyn that said that. I think this question was actually worded the wrong way. I think technology is increasing globalization again, just because like not even just for business and stuff, but people are able to interact with like their family members, anybody they need to at a much like faster and larger rate than they used to be before technology was like a really big thing. And although like people want to complain about how much teenagers are like addicted to technology, I think it does more good than harm just because one, it can be controlled, and two, for example, we wouldn't have been able to start this organization and stuff like that without technology. So I think definitely technology is influencing globalization and stuff in a positive way.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, just to reiterate, globalization is the growing trend towards worldwide markets in products, services, etc. So, I believe that it's very important now because, like, our generation, we're very used to things being online and we buy things online. And it's just very convenient for us. So, I definitely believe that globalization has helped businesses like all over the world, like even Amazon, for example, like they do have some stores in like certain hotspot areas. However, their main source is online. If no one else has anything, we can go on to the next question.
Mhm.
So, which type of e-commerce, B2B, B2C, or C2C, if any, would you use in your organization or business?
So I know a lot of people gave us their organizations last week. So if you guys could go off of that and answer the question, that'd be great. And again, feel free to turn your cameras on. It's kind of weird to stare at blank screens.
Don't be shy. This is just a casual conversation. You guys can also chat it.
Yeah.
Put it.
So we really don't want to call you guys out. So please say something.
Maybe business to business, because I feel like the reward would be bigger since you're already working with other established businesses.
Definitely. And Jocelyn, did you give an example of your business in the future?
And honestly, I have no idea what I want to do in the future, so we'll see.
First of all, that's relatable. Besides this, me too. But so definitely business to business is probably a really good one because like you said, it is already like 2 established organizations and stuff. Anybody else?
Obviously, I'm assuming no one had, well, maybe you guys do, but if you guys don't have like a business or any organization, can you guys think of an example of a B2B or a B2C or a C2C? If that's easier on you guys.
I mean, I could, so I do have an organization, but it's not like, it's basically we offer, like courses for Python, right? So I would say B2B as well, because you know how we partner with and do partnerships, and that's how really we kind of create more business and we gain more people and instructors and students that way. So I think B2B is the good way to go.
Definitely. So we definitely do the same thing. I know a lot of the people when we asked like how you guys had heard of us, a lot of the people were either through another organization or like through shout outs and stuff like that on Instagram. So I think B2B definitely works, especially with again the increase in technology.
Yeah.
Anybody else? The same few people have spoken, so if we can get anybody else, that'd be great.
Wow. What about Malak? I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, Malak, but I know you always chat. Anna says, I think Amazon could be considered a B2B and a C2C. That is completely correct. Definitely C2C as well. Okay, I'm just gonna call people's names. Sarah, Maria, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your names incorrectly. Ariane, Catherine, Samitha, I'm so sorry. Lynn, anyone?
You guys can drop it in the chats if you don't want to turn your mic on. All right, I don't think we're gonna get anybody else, so we can move on to explaining the final.
Wait,
Oh wait, we got a question.
what would dropshipping / AliExpress fall under? I don't know what AliExpress is.
So I know what it is. That one's kind of hard actually. I think so. First of all, these things are never set in stone, so they could be like multiple. I think yes. Sarah just said car rentals are B2B because for sales. Yeah, definitely.
I think globalization has made online shopping grow. I completely agree with you, Jasmine.
So to go back to the question, I think drop shipping, sorry, would probably be most like B2C and stuff because whatever platform you're using to do the shipping and stuff like that is still a business on its own. And it's like going to different consumers and stuff. So I think it would be B2C the most. Fundraising.
Fundraising. Well,
It
I
depends on type.
guess B2C.
It could be C2C as well.
Yeah, that's true. It depends on like if you're what your fundraising is an actual organization or if you're just selling it to your friends or
Yep.
something.
Also, if we didn't explain it well, you guys can ask like more questions about the content as well.
Okay, we'll just move on, and then if you guys have any questions, we will go back to you guys. So, okay. So we will be putting you into random breakout rooms. Hopefully you guys are not shy and will be able to talk to everyone, but you will be creating like a presentation like what we've been showing you and discussing any company. It can, what was it, company?
It can either be made up or it can be one that already exists. So you can use Amazon, for example, if you wanted to, or you can make up your own. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so then you'll be discussing a company, real, fake, and their 7Ps. And each group will present on August 7th. So unfortunately, we will not be able to give like free class time since we are like fast paced and we do have a lot of things to cover. So the only thing is that you must contact your group members outside of your class. And remember, this is not like a big deal. Like, you don't have to freak out. This is just so that we know that you have retained some sort of business knowledge, and more specifically, the 7Ps. So we will be sharing this presentation with you later today, and then you and your group can discuss and then present on August 7th. And then, of course, if you do have any questions, you can email us, text us, DM us, and yeah.
Yeah, and to go just a little bit more in depth and stuff. So for each of one of the 7Ps, just in case we didn't make it clear, for each one of the 7Ps, you'll basically name how your business or whatever made up business you're using uses these 7Ps in marketing. Again, this is just to see like how far you guys have gotten and how much you've learned, but try and drop in some like, I don't know, business terms and stuff like that. That's probably going to be the biggest indicator. And then like Alex said, it'll be presented on the 7th. And for gaining your team members' information and stuff like that, if you guys are okay with it, in a few minutes, we'll put you guys into breakout rooms. So you guys have about like 5 to 7 minutes to talk about it and gain each other's information. And we're just hoping that you guys aren't shy. Maybe it's just that you don't like us. Hopefully you guys will be more comfortable with each other.
Yeah, but make sure to get each other's information, whether it be through Instagram or like text message. But yeah, and then if you do have any questions, you can just come back to the main session and then you can ask us any questions. But we will also be kind of hopping around each breakout room just to see how everything's going. Don't be shy. These are people that you've never met before. So just YOLO, have some fun, and hopefully make some new friends.
All right, so you guys should be getting the like invitation to join the breakout rooms in a minute. Obviously, Alex, I think you're gonna get it too, so just stay here. But all right, so go ahead and join. These people will be your group members.
So I hope you guys all had a good conversation. It seemed like you guys were interacting well. Make sure that you remember which breakout room you guys were in and kind of who was in there so that you guys will present on August 7th.
And if anyone that was in breakout room 3, there is one person that wasn't here today. Her name is Sophia, but she's in your group, and we'll try and remind you guys of that on Wednesday. But just in case, just please remember that Sophia is also in your group, and we'll let her know that too.
Yeah, it seemed like in group 3 there was very few people, so we're going to try to add more people if anyone else joins.
Yeah.
And it seems like Catherine either left and then came back, but maybe chat and then let us know, because it seemed like you came late, but we may need to put you in a breakout room. So Catherine, just text us personally on this Zoom. But Kennedy, do you have anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, so make sure to keep in contact with, oh, okay, Catherine, okay, awesome. So make sure to keep in contact with your team members, and of course, email us or DM us if you have any questions about this project, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
You want to stop recording?